Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS, who is well, peace, and salutations to the elect. My name is Ainal. The title of this video is China is America's Wet Dream, right? And basically, this is a blowing the trumpet update to what's to come, basically. I did a video yesterday. It was going into the MOTB and the fact that Trump is going to be, issuing in this MOTB because of his right hand man, which is Elon Musk. So, and I believe that was the 21st, and today's the 22nd. They posted this 4 p.m. It's now 9:07 p.m. So it'll be a lot of reading, a lot of videos, and then I got a few precepts there. You know, we'll get them. It says Trump announces, so it's an update onto things before us because Elder Postahar coined the hopeful year of Jacob's deliverance and the destruction, of Esau Edom. So what comes with that? The end, and that comes with Jacob's trouble, and everything that goes into that, so which is death, destruction, the dogs to tear, things like that, famines, pestilence, struggling women, weak men, all of that. So, just grit up your minds, walk circumspectly, Anyway, Trump announces up to 500 billion in private sector AI infrastructure investment. And it boils down into the fact that they're moving forward with this digital system, this AI digital infrastructure. And I guess that's why they're so always talking about China. China's so far ahead because China is America's wet dream regarding what they're trying to do to you individuals, which we'll get into the videos here. Like I said, there'll be more reading, more talking, and more videos. It says Trump announces up to 500 billion in private sector AI infrastructure investment. This is going to the MOTB, blowing the trumpet, right? It says President Trump announced Tuesday billions of dollars in private sector investment to build artificial intelligence infrastructure in the United States. And what does that even mean? What does build artificial intelligence infrastructure? Is that AI robots? What is that surveillance? It boils down to the MOTB, the mark of the beast, the digital system, and what they want. Because eventually, let's just say they do make it so you have to go to a robot to pay for something. Eventually, the money be done away with, and you have to scan something to pay the robot, right? It only makes sense because it's a robot. So it boils down to the MOTB, right? Which is found in Revelation 13 and 16. It says OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle are planning to a joint venture called Stargate, Mr. Trump said in a White House briefing. SoftBank CEO, this guy, said joined Mr. Trump for the announcement, along with Sam Altman of OpenAI and Larry Ellison of Oracle. Right, so Trump has some guys come there right there in the White House and speak before the world and say this. So what we want to do is we want to keep it in this country, Mr. Trump said. China is a competitor. See, I didn't read this. This is something I just looked up. I read it over to this part right here. We'll get. Um, says China is a competitor, right? So they are against China regarding the infrastructure that China already has, right? And it's already advanced, And I mean, ultimately, I don't know, China is missing the MOTB, you know. It says China is a competitor, others are competitors. We want to be in this country, so we want to be in this country and we're making it available. Right. So Trump is, all about America, making America great again, all of that. So obviously it says, I'm going to help a lot through emergency declaration. So Trump is going to come down with draconian measures, to make what he wants to get done here in Babylon Great, which he considers peace and safety, in which it ultimately boils down into the stopping of the collapse of America, because that's exactly what's happening, right? And Trump is trying to stop that from happening, right? They feel that they're falling behind, China is a competitor and things like that, which is the case. It says because we have an emergency, we have to get this stuff built, right? It is emergency, right? Because they're in, right? It's emergency to, whether people believe it or not. Yeah, some people saying, oh, well, he's abusing his power. It's not really emergency because they don't know what's going on. right? America's at its end. It says we have to get this stuff built. So they have to produce a lot. And that goes into Revelation 12 and 12. Esau even coming down with great wrath because he knows that in a short time. They had something called Operation Warp Speed, all these things. They're moving real quick to try to get these things done, right? It says so they have to produce a lot of electricity. And that was something Trump was always talking about. And I was looking for it. He was big on trying to get this electricity stuff, figured out. It says, and will make it possible for them to get this production done easily at their own plants if they want. It says executives from the companies are expected to commit $500 billion into Stargate over the next 4 years. Details of the new partnership were not immediately provided. It says in a briefing, E. Ellison said 10 data centers for the project were already under construction in Texas, and that more were planned. Sources previously told CBS News that Stargate will start with a data center project in Texas and eventually expand to other states. All right, so yeah, and then what is it? Elon Musk, he had some words to say about it, basically contrary to this, what Trump wanted to do. Okay, let me see. It says when OpenAI announced the project Tuesday on X, stating we will begin deploying 100 billion immediately. Musk responded to the post. They don't actually have the money. He added, and this dude here, Musk, is efficiency, currency efficiency, and things like that. But they have a $1 trillion, a big debt, right? That's that thick clay in Habakkuk 2, and around verse 3. He laid himself with thick clay, or 6 is 2 and 2 and 6 or something, which I'll probably get it. It's right there. You can look it up right there in the first 5 verses. So that's that thick clay that they have. So they don't have the money. America don't have the money. These are American companies. Whatever the case may be, America has thick clay, which is that debt that they can't pay back. So, and they're arguing, which is good. Let them argue, right? They're bickering between each other. It's perfect for the elect, for the saints, right? Because Yahushua is, going to come soon and destroy Esau, Edom, and his kingdom. But nonetheless, the scriptures say that this man doesn't bear the sword in vain, right? And the part of his sword, his weapon is going to be this beast system, because that's definitely going to kill you. Putting this device into your body that he's trying to issue out. So, moving on. It says Trump announced his 500 billion AI Stargate plan for Texas. This is cryptogun.com. And then here you go. It's the same guy we've seen in this photo over here. I didn't play this video. There you go, right there, right? So let's listen.
One of the most exciting things we're working on, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out,
and I mean, Esau will have to come down with great wrath because these words that he's using here is cringe to everyone that's listening, right? Because sorry, went blank for a second. No one trusts, what's going on in the government, and that's why now you have things like WEF, Salaki for that, WEF and things like that, saying Trump is he's a danger to the new world order. They're pushing that, we're the good guys and they're the bad guys, good cop, bad cop, whatever the case may be, right? They're all in bed with each other, right? And that's why you have Trump pushing this AI thing. That's why you have Elon Musk, this Neuralink guy, spaceship guy, his right-hand man, right? So they don't have to come down with great wrath because the laborers, the working class individuals, the people are not feeling this, right? Not feeling this at all.
Be quick. All of our cancers.
Another thing I want to add, he freed about 14,000 or 1,400 or 1,500 individuals, and part of those individuals are the Proud Boys, right? You pardon them, full pardon, things like that. Once they figure out Trump has been lying and is lying and things like that, he's gonna be the same individuals that he pardoned to raise up and come against him. The same way they went against the White House or the building, Capitol building, whatever the case may be, they'll do it again.
Cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI.
Yeah, Salaki, again, this is not going to work. Them, well, some people are taking it, but for the masses, the majority, them just, come with those smooth words, hiding it under their tongue. It's not going to work. They're going to have to come down with great rap. No one is feeling this government or what they do the same. Even when he's talking right now, it's like he don't want to say it.
AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test. Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer.
What it sound like? It sound like what they was doing over there in Ukraine is what part of the reason why the war started, because they was bioengineering something that can only affect a certain type of person, right, over in Ukraine. So they're still in the same stuff, and now they're talking about it on mainstream news, Fox News.
And you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine, you can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
Thanks.
All right, there you go. So that's what they want. So it says this will be the most important project of this era, said Altman, CEO of OpenAI. That's all, of course, AI stuff, right? So already look at this. President Donald Trump on Tuesday talked of a joint venture investing up to $500 billion for an infrastructure tied to artificial intelligence by a new partnership formed by OpenAI or SoftBank. This is like day 2 in office. After executive orders, he's moving swiftly towards this AI digital system. It says a new entity, Stargate, will start building out data centers and the electricity generation. And even, thinking about a lot right now, I was watching Elder Apostle Tahar's video earlier today. This could be that cruel lord, that cool ruler, that's over America. It could be Donald Trump, or he could lay out this infrastructure, But he's doing everything that's leading up to this, But we walking, we're working in the spirit, measuring the times, observing what's going on. It says the new entity, Stargate, will start building out data centers and the electricity generations needed for the further development of the fast evolving AI in Texas. According to the White House, the initial investment is expected to be $100 billion and could reach 5 times that sum. Joining Trump fresh off his inauguration at the White House were this person of SoftBank, Sam Altman. So I read that earlier. And they said this will be the most important project of this era. Right. So, Lord willing, he's the God. He's the God that bring this stuff in, but we the prophets and the Lord, working in the spirit, observing these things and, just bringing it out. So anyway. Oh, I gotta click this right here, these videos for you. Play like a minute of all of these. So once again, the title is, America, China is America's wet dream. It says, omnipresent AI cameras will ensure good behavior, says Larry Ellison, right? And then it goes ultimately into the MOTV system that's going to be tracking you, in your body, along with all these cameras, AI, and things like that. It says, I think the reality is that a dossier on every citizen is being automatically maintained. The dossier contains everything from purchases to internet activity, audio from phone calls to full contents of emails, income, library records, travel records, etc. Additionally, so all, etc. Everything. Additionally, I think that there is another widget that links activity that users think is anonymous up to their main dossier. And, I want to say, Salakia, it's good to, just, basically, not, I'm just not trying to put a stumbling block in front of brother or anything like that, with the, brother may feel like, oh, we're up out of here, but or whatever the case may be, so just take it as it is. But for everything that's going on and what it seems to be, this is the hopeful year of Jacob's deliverance and Esau's destruction. Trump seems to be that cruel Lord. He's coming in swift. 2025 has come in, strong, and he's already moving towards this digital AI system, So it says, if for good measure, most people conveniently carry a GPS tracker smartphone around with them that provides their location on the ground. I've maintained for about a decade that mass tracking of people is part of the core functionality of this thing. In the years that followed, China essentially built one. In the years followed, Lord willing, you understand what I just read. It says in the years that followed, China essentially built out the nightmare system I described. Right, and this nightmare system is what they're trying to bring to Babylon the Great. So here's, a few minutes of each video. It's a few of them.
In China, one set of scores could determine your fate. By 2020, a nationwide surveillance system could be tracking the behavior of every single citizen. And all citizens could be scored based on their behavior. Get Real uncovers the truth about China's social credit system. Is it the cure to uncivilized behavior? Or a tool to silence dissent?
Hello.
And could it create a new chasm between the haves
我看你分数挺高的，760多分嘛，是吧？
and have-nots?
好像蛮高。
All right, so what you're seeing here is outcast from society, the haves and have-nots. You have people that's gonna go in with the system, take the MOTB, submit to Esau, his wickedness, and then those that are not, but those that are not going to be protected by the Lord, if they're of the hopeful elect. The rest, just whatever. Here's the next video.
Here in this Shanghai surveillance center, no resident goes unwatched. Hundreds of millions of cameras are installed all over China.
We have algorithms that automatically recognize certain behaviors. If someone isn't wearing a mask, for example, we immediately detect this wrongdoing.
No one can escape the camera's gaze, even when taking out the trash. Technological advancements in China affect Germany too. Chinese corporations have long been amassing troves of user data.
I don't have control over where my data is sent, whether it's to the US, China, or wherever.
Modern technology has its advantages, from cashless payment to internet-equipped cars. We're heading full throttle into a high-tech future, but at what cost?
All right.
In 2019, horrifying footage from Xinjiang, China.
This can go into your, the chipping camps and things like that,
Stunned the world. It showed shackled and blindfolded Uyghur Muslims taken off a train and marched into detention centers, part of a broader campaign that's been called a genocide.
The guards put a helmet on my shaved head. Each time I was electrocuted, my whole body would shake.
In an effort to keep the Uyghurs under constant watch, China transformed the province into one of the most heavily surveilled parts of the world.
Every Uyghur over 12 years old is forced to surrender their biometric data, including voice, blood, DNA samples, and iris scans.
Now, China's surveillance state is going global. Chinese-based companies have sold their sophisticated technologies to over 80 countries. These systems make it easier for autocrats to spy on their populations.
It's giving them an unprecedented level of control when it comes to the choices, communications, and private transactions that citizens are making.
In Uganda, tech from Chinese companies like Huawei is allegedly used to spy on government opposition figures.
Have been put under 24-hour surveillance. All our phones are hacked.
And even in London, which is the third
You are unique. Your eyes cast a warm brown glow. Your voice carries a soft tone. Your nose creases when you smile. But the things that make you unique can also be used to track you. And in China, your appearance, the technology you use, and the sound of your voice are all types of information the Chinese government collects. The scale of this surveillance and the infrastructure supporting it are larger and more elaborate than previously known. For over a year, the New York Times has analyzed more than 100,000 government bidding documents. They span 2 decades and were collected and shared exclusively with us by ChinaFile, a digital magazine published by the Asia Society. In these bidding documents, government agencies from across the country detail what surveillance products and services they need, from phone trackers to equipment used to collect iris scans and DNA samples. These documents explain the strategic thinking behind the purchases and invite companies to bid for project contracts. Together, they reveal China's ambition in collecting vast amounts of sensitive personal data. From the local to national level, China aims to gather as much information as possible on its citizens, centralize this data, and use it to maintain authoritarian rule over its entire population.
So, there you go. That's exactly what America wants, right? America has got the binoculars on China, right? It says, and now here's Larry Ellison's co-founder, a former CEO and current CTO of Oracle Corporation, which started out as CIA's Project Oracle on the benefits of mass surveillance. It says on Thursday, Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, shared his vision for an AI-powered surveillance future during a company. What comes to mind right now is person of interest. I think he took it off Netflix. They took it off Netflix. I was speaking on it before. This show called Person of Interest. You can look it up if you want to look it up. Person of Interest though, and basically that's probably what they want: a mass AI computer tracking you. It know what you're gonna do before you think you're gonna do it. All of that stuff. It's left-hand witchcraft, right? That's why this devil has to be brought down. It says on Thursday, Oracle co-founder, AI-powered surveillance future during a company financial meeting, reports Business Insider. Okay. It says citizens will be on their best behavior because we are constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. Even this won't work. You're gonna have. That's why you got prisons now, and people are in prison because they're doing wickedness. So Esau's plan ain't gonna work. Never was gonna work. Yahushua is on the way. All right, Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua is on the way. It says describing what he sees as the benefits from automated oversight from AI and automated alerts from when crime takes place. Yeah, it's not gonna help you. It says we're going to have supervision. We continue. Every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. And if there is a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person. If it's not the police, then who is it? Your government banking elites, right? They want complete power. But this is 2 Ezra 15 verse 1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Yahushua, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Right, and this goes into the MOTB, which is Revelations, the 13th chapter. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee, least let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." People talk about, it's like going back to Caleb, when they had the report, of basically the city. You having a report of the city, whether it's a good report or a bad report. The unbelief, which is this word here, incredulity of them. Oh, you can't talk against Esau. You can't talk about what he's doing. These people are too powerful, too strong. Yahweh Bashmi Yahushua, told us exactly what it is. The saints shall take the kingdom, right? It says, "Fear not the imagination against thee." And this going into what? Psalms 2 and 1. Because this, I just said, is Psalms 2 and 1. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, and against his anointed, saying, basically what they're saying. And that's they're coming together with this MOTB system to try to offset prophecy and ultimately destroy, the Israelites and set up their own kingdom, which they think will continue to generations. So basically, they're written because it's true. The MOTB will come, and it's as you can see, they're moving forward with that, and then they will be destroyed. So we just got to keep waiting and doing. Isaiah 19:1, and this is going to, what we have been saying. When the Lord, the prophets, prophesying and reporting on what we are seeing, as it unfolds. It says Isaiah 19:1, the burden of Egypt, the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashmiel shall ride upon a swift cloud with a chariot, and shall come into Egypt. Basically, Egypt means bondage, but this is modern day Babylon and Greek, where it says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. So, Yahweh Shai is coming. You get 2 Ezra chapter 13, and he's going to destroy, everything here. It says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, right? So that's, Babylonian against the Babylonian, the American against the American. And even, like I said, Trump announced that he wanted to do this, and, Musk, his right-hand man, was even kind of saying, I don't know, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And like I said, once they figure out Trump is bullshit and they're lying, the good old boys that he freed out are going to, come back together and do what they do best. Wherever they got locked up for it, that's what they're going to come back and do. All right. It says Isaiah 19:3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek through the idols, into the charmers, into them that have familiar spirits, into the wizards. Right. So there's no more knowledge. There's no wisdom in teaming. Right. There's no more wisdom in America. Right. So they're going to seek to these wizards, familiar spirits, devils, demons, and things like that, left hand sorcery. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And who, I can't see, nobody not basically it's, who else besides Trump? Who's going to be more cruel than Trump? Who's running in the ranks right now? Who could be the next president? Besides, Peter that's already in his office, which you got Elon Musk, his right hand man. You got Vance not saying much. Who else besides Trump? It says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Lord of hosts. All right. So that, that's exactly what's happening. We see it unfolding here. Right. This is Job 5, 12. It says Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. See, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because you have Moab, that's China. The title of this is China is America's wet dream, right? And America has a lot of wet dreams. They want to destroy the Israelites, but they can't destroy the elect, right? The hopeful elect, the remnant, they can't do that. So they got a lot of wet dreams that they want to, accomplish. And being like China and issuing out this MOTB system and basically controlling everybody and eventually just killing them, for no reason, blocking them out of society, just denying them of, rights and things like that is what they want to do. That's why the Most High says here, Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. What did Esau say in Psalms 83? Let's take crafty counsel together. Let me grab that real quick. Right, and here we are. Another example of what's to come, a failure, right, for Babylon the Great. Psalms 83:3, it says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off and make a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance, right? And they failed when they didn't get Yahweh Shai, right? Man, rose back and let them know, I could call, a legion of angels right now. It says, read it again, Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform the enterprise. You take of the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. Let me read this again. It says, they find it is dark in the daytime, and they grope at noon as it were night. See the devils? You know? It says, but he saved the poor from the sword, in their mouth. I'm sorry, but he saved the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the mighty. So who's that? That's the hopeful elect in this time now, right? So nothing that these devils say or nothing they're trying to do against us is going to work. Yahweh will watch me off shot and protect us, you know? It says, so the poor have hope and iniquity stoppeth their mouth. Let me get this in the NLT. It says, and so at last, the poor have hope, and the snapping of jaws of the wicked are shut. Right? So Edom will be brought down. It's in Job 20. Verse 19, it says, because he have oppressed, this is Job 20:19, because he have oppressed and have forsaken the poor, because he have violently taken away in house which he buildeth not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. Right? So what he's savoring over right now is to be like China. Right? And the Most High is not going to give him the full extent of that. Right? He's going to come down with great wrath, moving sloppy, and then be discouraged. It says, there shall none of his wheat be left. You just heard what Trump said. Man, talking about we need electricity, we gotta hurry up. Read this again. It says, what we want to do is we want to keep it in this country. Mr. Trump said, China is a competitor. Others are competitors. We want to be in this country and we're making it available. I'm going to help a lot through emergency declarations. You know what that means? That means short on time. And I was watching one video where this chick was talking about it. I was watching a brother video or something, and she was saying, you know, he's abusing power because emergency declarations is like, you know, something suddenly, something happened, you know, so they short on time. That's what this is, emergency declaration. She don't know that, you know. It says, I'm going to help a lot with emergency declarations because we have an emergency. They're short on time. We have to get this stuff built. You see that? We have to get this stuff built. So they have to produce a lot of electricity. And we will make it possible for them to get this production done easily at their own plants if they want. You know, so things like what happened in North Carolina and what's happening over there in California, if that got to happen to build this electricity, it's going to happen. But I'm talking about the fires, you know, the flooding. Job 20 and started I'll just go back to the top. Job 20:19. It says, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away in house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Read this in NLT. It says, nothing is left after they finish gorging themselves. Therefore their prosperity will not endure. Right? That shouts to, you know, their inward thought, going to Psalms 49:11. It says, Job 20:22, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in scrapes. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Right? This man freed the good old boys just to lodge in him, and they're going to be upset about it. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So ultimately, Esau even will be destroyed. Now read this. It says, Job 20:24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow still shall strike him through. You know, going to these nuclear missiles. And I read this, so let me grab this one scripture. I got it on my phone. This is 2 Peter 3. And I start at 9. This is 2 Peter 3:9. It says, the Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord? That was the point I wanted. We're looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Right? So with that, Lord, when we're edified from this video, I'll say shalom to those elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.